Is your stand-up terror or veterans against terrorism?
Well, it's both. It's a joint march. I mean, it's basically Phil Campion's involved, a couple of other guys, a couple of other veterans, and obviously we've got a few hundred people here. Probably going to have about 1,000 people by the time the march starts. We're not involved in politics. We're not politicians, but we're just sick of terrorist attacks in our major cities. I mean, it's got to stop, and we're handing a letter into the Prime Minister with a few suggestions from veterans on maybe what might be a good idea and how to go with it. We're not getting involved in religion. We're not getting involved in any of that, but we just want the jihad attacks on the UK to stop. I mean, there's a problem there, and it needs to be sorted out. So we can certainly get you a copy of the letter, which will go into a lot of detail about exactly what we're asking for and what we're calling for. Basically, we're calling for the 3,000 jihadists that are causing the problem. We'd like to see them basically lifted so that they can't cause a problem and arrested and detained. And also, we want to see the jihadists who are returning from Syria and Iraq, who've been fighting with ISIS, who've been doing terrible things, beheading people, murdering innocent people. We want to see them arrested and tried for high treason. That's what we're about. And also, there needs to be something done about radicalisation as well. Radicalisation is a huge problem, and it needs to be sorted out. And I think the main thing is, because we're veterans and we know the cost of terrorism, most of us have been to Northern Ireland and served in Northern Ireland, we want to do something to avoid this country descending into a civil war situation. We want to keep this peaceful, we want to keep it lawful, we want to keep it legitimate. We don't want to do anything that's going to cause anybody any problems. We don't want to be involved in anything that's going to cause any disturbances. It's going to be totally peaceful. That's our ethos, and that's really what we're about.
Yeah, I was speaking to over there, and I proposed a question. I said that obviously this is peaceful marching. The Football Lads Alliance was peaceful. You know, we've got peaceful marching, but they're still not doing anything.
Yeah.
If 3 years continue and the attacks get more and more repetitive, which they will if it's not stopped, what's going to happen if these marches, if they don't listen to the pragmatic stuff that you guys are saying?
Well, they have to listen. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, you know, we are totally committed to peace because we've all served in the military. We know what it's like to have terrorists try and murder us. We personally know that. You know, it's not a game to us. We know what it's all about, right? So if they won't listen to the veterans and they won't listen to working class lads who are coming together totally peacefully, totally non-sectarian, totally non-religious or political, who are they going to listen to? They've got to start listening. The media have to start listening. You can't just keep sweeping people under the carpet and throwing the tag of racism or Islamophobia or whatever it is they want to throw. That's not what it's about. We want our lovely country. We love our country. It's a beautiful country. We want our beautiful country to be preserved in the form that it's been in for many, many years. We want to keep people safe. We want to preserve democracy, and that's really where we're coming from. We're not interested in anyone that's stirring up violence or trouble. This is not a militia. This is not anything like that. This is basically for peace and basically for the safety of our country, and that's what we're here. That's what we're here for, and that's what we're about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like deeply concerned. I've been watching it grow. I've been watching it closely for 2 years. Social media now.
Yeah.
There's some scary talk going on from people who 2 years ago were just talking normally.
Yeah.
And now, if someone proposed crazy solutions, I genuinely think there's a lot of people now who would say, right.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'll tell you why. I mean, it's very, very difficult for, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, sit behind keyboards, can say all sorts of things, but it's meaningless. I mean, you know, I don't think there's a real worry there or a real danger there. Certainly not from our group. In our group, you know, law-abiding veterans who want something done, and we're relying on the government to do something. So people can rabble-rouse, people can say what they want from behind keyboards,
Yes, that's a very good point.
If they want to do something, come and stand with us. If there's thousands of people saying they want to do something about it, come and stand peacefully within the law, without getting into bigotry and hatred. Come and stand with us and petition the Prime Minister. And we live in a democracy at the moment. If people start taking the law into their own hands, it does one thing: it restricts our freedom. As soon as people start doing illegal acts, the government clamp down, and there's people who want there to be illegal acts because that serves their purpose. We don't want that. We want absolutely the opposite.
Would you? I mean, I've got some theories in my mind about why they're allowing this. Do you think they're allowing it so that we can bring in more authoritarian policing techniques?
I hope not. I hope that's not the case. I mean, I'm a great believer in the democratic process. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's some sinister things going on. I think there's some people who are lobbying, particularly in the area of things like Islamic blasphemy law, which is really what a lot of the accusations about Islamophobia are actually levelled at. It's really to clamp down on freedom of speech. But you see, the issue is as soon as people do violent acts, it feeds that narrative. This is where this goes to. We've got to clamp down on it. So that's why it's so important to be peaceful, to be articulate, to explain exactly what it is that you're against. We're not against any group of people. We're against an ideology that thinks it's okay to go to a concert in Manchester and blow up 8-year-old girls. That's what we're against, right? We're against an ideology that thinks it's okay to dive out of a van in central London, run into a crowd and stab women in the head. That's what we're against, okay? That's what we're standing against. Now we've got to show that we're better than that, and we've got to do it in a non-violent way. And it's very, very important we get that message across. It's never right to attack Muslims. It's totally wrong. Totally wrong. I can't say that strongly enough. And I would say every man here would agree with that 100%. That must not happen because it totally discredits the cause, and it's not fair. It's not fair on the Muslim community because the Muslim community are just as much victims of this ideology as the rest of us.
I suppose a lot aren't able to speak out.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course they're not. I mean, basically, if it's the same as we had in Northern Ireland, when you've got terrorists who are intimidating a community, it's very difficult to fight against that, especially if there's a religious ideology behind that, because they also have a religious authority with them as well. And these are the thorny issues that the government needs to really grapple with and grasp. They really need to, because we don't want this country descending into chaos. That is our absolute ethos. We don't want that happening.
But what are you missing out on today? Being here, what would you be doing if you weren't here?
I'd have been with my grandchildren.
And that's the sad thing, isn't it?
I've flown into this country to do this. I don't even live in England. I've flown into this country to do this. So I've come from outside the country.
I appreciate it. I'm sure the people watching. I looked. I think we got about 50 watching live.
Yeah.
But like I say, the football lads live. So we're about 60 or 70,000 views within the first 24 hours.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And someone edited that footage together and uploaded it to Facebook.
Yeah.
Has 1 million views.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it hasn't quite got the broad appeal of the football community.
Yeah.
It's just, if anything, a lot more important if you've got real world experience.
Yeah, I think what needs to happen. I mean, the football lads, from what I can gather, they seem to have a very similar ethos. They seem to be peaceful. They seem to be very respectful. They seem to be avoiding any conflict. And I think there could be there could be a coming together there because we know those lads support us, and we've got some of them linked on our Facebook page, so we know we've got the support of the football lads. So I mean, if they share the same ethos as we do, which is peaceful, lawful, legitimate protest, well, why not get together and have a mega protest where we get 100,000 or 1 million on the street? Then they have to listen, because there's only so many veterans, and we're all getting older. That's why we're called veterans, because we're not young lads anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, let's bring the whole country together against this. I mean, I know there's other groups like the Sikh Awareness Society and all those sort of people. So we want everyone to get involved. That is against terrorism, and let's get some moderate Muslims that are against terrorism to come and stand with us, and that some of those guys, we know they're a voice crying in the wilderness. to a great extent, but get some of those guys like Majid Nawaz and people like that down, and let them have a go at this as well, because it's got to be stopped. You know, this.
The end of the UK for this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the question. This is the thing. I mean, if we go 10 years down the road, how, you know, what's going to happen? So now is the time. This is the season to do it. You know, this is our time that we've got to do something about this.
What will you say to the people who may be watching this now, maybe watching it at a later date? Obviously, they're watching because they believe in what you're saying.
Yeah.
What do you say to them for not being at these sort of things?
Look, I mean, I would say come. One of the organisers of the Manchester March put a challenge out on YouTube or Facebook and said, "Where are you? You know, why aren't you with us?" And that's why I'm here. I'm here because one of my brothers that served in the military put an appeal out and said, "Come on, let's get out from behind the keyboards and let's take a peaceful stand and do something about it, because we've got to do something about it now. It is a serious situation. It is very, very dangerous, and I know there's a lot of fear out there as well. Well, I want to tell you something. They can't behead 1 million people, right? They might behead you, they might behead me. They can't behead 1 million people, or it would take them a very long time. Okay, so don't be afraid. You know, all this run, hide and tell nonsense. No, we don't run, hide and tell. Stand, fight and protect. Right? Don't run, hide and tell. Stand. If you're in a terrorist attack, if somebody runs at you with a knife, stand, fight and protect. And that's what these veterans are doing. I hope.
And the Millwall, the Lion of
the Lion of Millwall. Yeah, come on in. Get this lady in. I'm going to have to live on the moon. Listen, once we're done.
No, not my face. Camera will break.
Yeah. No, I can't do it. I'm driving when I get home.
But something's got to be done.
Well, it's the football.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The community of people. It's a very big community.
But what you've got to realise, the two main clubs that were there hate each other. And I mean, they would kill each other. There's no buts or anything, they would kill each other. But that day, they stood together, which I was quite shocked but proud.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Really good.
Because apparently there's another march, 23rd of September.
Yeah.
But not by the football lot, by somebody, another group.
Let's see how it goes.
And it's called the Silent March.
Just want to say goodbye to him just for his life.
I'm sitting on the wall over there.
Basically, we're here today. We're taking a stand against the jihadist terrorist onslaught that's taking place against our country. Serious problem in the country.
Sorry, I dropped the ball there, but I'm going to touch bases with the organiser again quickly and just kind of get a final thing. Mate,
Are you done it yet?
yeah, thank you very much for that.
No problem, mate. Yeah.
Search for it on YouTube.
Will do, mate. Okay, cheers, buddy.
Yeah, what a gent, you know, it's like